blockchain. So what's the advantage compared to other cloud storage platforms, especially in the Web 2 space?
Yeah, I think talking about Web 2 is a really important sort of way to go, because as a team, we're just a small group of people that came up with this idea that we wanted to pursue, but we're all product people. And so what we said with the ScPrime was, we're going to build something called the distributed data center, and we want to go and compete head-to-head with a big cartel, essentially, Amazon, AWS, GCP, Microsoft Azure. They literally have 60, 70, 80% of all of the cloud data storage that's out there in the world. So our goal isn't to sort of, remake data storage with public key cryptography and, to do all kinds of that science experiment stuff. Our goal is to take a product head-to-head against this cartel. And so what we saw with this idea of doing distributed data centering was that if we brought this ethos of product to the table, we could do a bunch of things better than they can. So what is ScPrime? Well, so what it is right now, if you go online to map.xns.tech, and XNS is our product overlay, you'll see that there's several thousand providers scattered around the globe. You can go it looks a lot like the helium map, for instance. Click on a node, you can actually see how much storage they're providing and whatever. And what happens is that when a customer comes to us to actually take storage or take data on the network, the presentation and what we've always striven to do is to really give them the same experience that they already have right now as customers and with the product. So SLA, service level agreements, terms of service that make sense, fiat payment rails, as we just talked about, and S3 protocol as the native backbone to it. So essentially, when they show up with our thing, there's 50 or 60,000 applications out there that people are using. Yeah, they tend to default to a couple handful for things like VM or other tools like that, but there's literally just thousands and thousands of compatible applications that just plug and play right now on our network, and they work the same way they work on AWS. And so what ends up happening with our distributed data center is customers set up a little server on premise called a relayer. And the neat thing about the relayer is this allows them to assemble what's called a virtual private data center. So now what happens is the customer actually chooses from those thousands and thousands of nodes and builds their own data center. We never touch their data. We never touch their metadata. And the reason why that's important is when you look at data breaches and all of the problems that AWS or GCP or any of those people end up having, and they do continue to have them, right? What happens is those all go away because the customer is building the data center to suit their needs from these thousands of nodes. So the relayer assembles that virtual private data center. They then upload all the data, and the relayer is always on a goal seek for performance, for uptime and durability, for all kinds of ideas that essentially set apart different nodes. So let's take an example. Let's say you're in Northern Europe and you have some compliance needs, right? And this is really important because your government or your region might say all the data has to be stored in a certain country or in a certain region. It's very easy in the relayer to just say, choose these countries, go grab all the providers that are in that country, and then put that into my set, and then goal seek for the highest performing ones so that I have really good performance. So what this allows us to do then is to disrupt across multiple vectors against the big guys, right? We can get a better price, we are more performant, and it's demonstrably provable, right? We're more secure, and we're more durable. And so the benefits here really, really showed themselves to us, and that's why we focused primarily on the products. Yes, there's some centralizing in our chain. There definitely is. People come to us, they employ XNS just like they would employ AWS, but really all we're doing is we're contracting. We're providing that contract layer on top, which provides the accounting and the transfer of tokens and so forth out to the providers. So at the end of it, underneath this whole thing is the proof of work blockchain that's validating the smart contracts that we're running. And it's kind of an older school state channel smart contract, by the way. So, but it's very robust, and works very well, but the underlying blockchain really is sort of the foundation for this. And what we see is the next 1 to 2 to 3 steps for this project is, and we're already started this process, we will become chain agnostic in a lot of ways. And we're going to move storage networking and contracting to Solana first, and then we'll move to Ethereum, and perhaps even to ETC. Our whole goal when we did this was not to become blockchain experts. We are storage people. And so what we found is a way to do storage better than AWS. So our goal is to take over AWS at some point.
Thank you. And